Hello everybody, Gamer Penny here, bringing you another episode of our Final Fantasy XIV online Let's Play, and we are back, actually on our first episode of our Endwalker playthrough. And that means we have done a Fantasia, and we have a new glam. So, in our playthrough tradition, we are behind the curtain, so to speak, and we are ready to show you... I'm kind of nervous. It took a while for me to come up with one that I like, but this is the new Vesper. So as you can see, we've utilized the boots. Obviously, we had to find an outfit that utilized the boots, but I went for a really like hardened battle mage, black mage type look. I think in Heaven's Ward, we were just kind of silly playing around with glams. I was still getting used to glams. Stormblood, we did a really skimpy outfit. Shadowbringers, we had a really good black mage glam. And I think for now, what I really want to kind of roleplay as going into Endwalker is she's become this astronomical, super sonic, I guess, black mage that is just, you know, she's top of her class, basically. So this is the outfit that I gave her and that I came up with. We kept the arm things because I really like these. I think these are really cool. And they look better on a human than they do on an aura. And I tried to do like this brown and black glam set with this cane. Why do I want to say that's not what this is called? The staff. The staff and everything. So, guys, let me know what you think, if you like it or if you don't. And if you don't, that's too bad. We're going to have to get used to it as we're going into Endwalker. So, we are about to start our Endwalker playthrough. So, let's go ahead and talk to Alfino here. Ooh, we're going to get a new weapon. Vesper, do you have some time to talk? I would like to gather everyone in Dawn's Respite and together assess the situation in which we find ourselves. Let us take stock of the facts, shall we? The crisis at hand began with the sudden appearance of ominous towers in a multitude of locations throughout the world. We have since learned that said structures were brought into being by an organization known as the Teleferi. The Teleferi stated purpose is to recreate the final days of aeons past, an apocalyptic event that would result in the destruction of all we hold dear. Already have these towers of theirs been the cause of untold suffering. Countless innocents kidnapped and imprisoned, their faith perverted for primal summonings. And unless we find a way to deal with the corruptive aura surrounding the spires, we can't even get close enough to rescue anyone. Those shielded with the blessing of light seem able to resist being tempered, at least. But after what happened to Arenvald and Fordola, we need to be very, very careful about how we proceed. Yet while these threats close to home are of paramount concern, we mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garlemald. As you know, the Teleferi are under the leadership of Fan Daniel and one other delightful fellow, Xenos Ye Galvis, the Crown Prince and our dear friend. To date, he's reclaimed his old body, murdered Empress Varys, and plunged Garlemald into an even deeper pit of chaos. The capital has probably seen the worst of it. For a good while there, it saw the bloodiest fighting in the War of Succession, but that has since changed and in troubling ways. Aye, during our reconnaissance, the air was not once rent by the barking of cannons or the cries of discord. 'Twas an eerie fog of silence which did blanket that ruined city. The inhabitants appeared to have been tempered, and with narier words spoken did they labor to transform the palace into a soaring edifice born of nightmares. Excuse me. If they were indeed made thralls, it seems safe to assume that these events too were orchestrated by the Teleferi. An army of primals is awful enough, but in light of recent developments, I fear it is only the prelude to an even greater catastrophe. We need to devise a means to counter this threat, and quickly before our allies are overwhelmed. We will find a way in Sharlayan, I am sure of it. Master Fortunal's comments regarding the final days were curious to say the least. The Forum knows more than it is letting on. Sorry to interrupt. We've just received word from Mrs. Cryo. She says the arrangements for your visit have been finalized. You're to head to Limsa Lominsa and board the next ship bound for Sharlayan. On arrival, present yourselves as associates of the students of Baldesion, come to assist with the Order's restoration. The arrangements may be settled, but what of your thoughts? They must race at the prospect of returning home after so long. I am eager to see it, of course. We should set off at once. Sorry, had to take a drink. Then I'll accompany you to the docks. You need at least one person there to wave and cry and wish you a safe journey. Oh, the music. I'm so excited to be an Endwalker. I can't even, like, express how excited I am to play through this again. We need to go Limsa Lominsa. And then... over here to the Arcanist Guild. Hey, Tataru. Everyone's here, which is good. Because I've already paid for your passage and the fee is non-refundable. The ship for Sharlayan should be pulling into port soon, so please follow me and have your luggage close at hand.
They've almost finished loading our cargo. We should be ready to depart right on schedule, or so I'm told.
Excellent. 'Tis nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
It's funny. Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one. And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
Aye. 'Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief. Thou hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louis Soir of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Thank you.
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
Will this be your first visit to Sharlayan, Sir Estinian? Sir Estinian?
Are we strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
I, merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company. Or I'll be forced to respond in kind, little Lord Alphino.
Little Lord Alphino.
You've made your point, Estinian. Painfully well.
Better.
Tataru, aw.
Are you all right, Tataru? You seem positively distraught.
Distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland. It's just, we're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hellbent on destroying the world. And once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends.
Aww. I'll bring them back safe and sound, I promise. Man, first playthrough of this, I was like, oh god. Because everyone going into it was like, oh, someone's gonna die. Someone is going to die. Gosh, what do I even want to say? Yeah, I'll bring them back safe and sound, I promise.
I'll hold you to that.
Ah, good. You're still here.
Hori Boulder, Coltoner. Coltonet.
Hori! Coltine! What brings you all this way?
We're to assist the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower. Flamine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return. We will too, of course. Aye. We, your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn, will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
We're set to sail! All aboard for Sharlayan!
It's time.
Then we must delay no longer. We will contact you the moment we learn aught of value. Wish us luck.
Have a safe journey, and please, please, be careful.
Oh, so excited. I'm like jumping in my seat. I'm ready to play this game.
And so you venture forth unto the unknown.
That's Emmett's voice.
A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be divined. A future undefined and in flux. In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end. Treasure every moment, every step of your descent.
Oh.
And there, in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
Ooh, that hits different. Dang.
Here. Feel. Think.
The day has barely dawned, my fellow earlier riser. Though we're hardly alone in that. Envious of those still sleeping soundly, no doubt. Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself. In any case, I dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Sharlayan should be coming into view at any moment.
All right. I like our glam. I think she looks amazing. Oh, there she is.
My voice yet reaches you. I am glad. Hear, feel, think. And thus do we meet face to face at last, my warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
Why now, Hydaelyn?
After your sojourn in the First, I believe you have your answer. You have gained an understanding of what I truly am, what Hydaelyn has always been, a primal. Zodiac was created to forestall the apocalypse which threatened the ancient world, and I was brought forth to bind him. Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered. The greater his strength grows, the swifter does mine own diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield. Yet though it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid. Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine. Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms, monumental, which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it. When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time, another age.
Cast your peepers to the fore, folks. Sharlayan's just over yonder.
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land. We shall meet again, and soon.
I mean, I would be telling the other Scions right now that I spoke to Hydaelyn. But let's go see Sharlayan first.
Oh, what a fine morning. Oh, still a bit stiff though.
And a good morning to you too. Taken a look at the island already?
Then let's go. Let's go. Might still be room in the prow if we're lucky.
Ah, the sleepers have arisen. There she is. Good old Sharlayan.
Oh, I see it.
There she is.
Home. Home at last. Well, maybe not in Father's eyes, but we'll manage on our own, if we must.
You do know you're not alone in this, don't you? Indeed. 'Tis as Sir Estinian saith. Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side, I prithee.
Thank you, my friends. We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
Upon arrival, we will be disembarking into the heart of Sharlayan proper. There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the answers we seek.
The moon. Endwalker. Yes, we're here. We did it.
Sharlayan, the solitary island nation of the northern seas. Where under the watchful gaze of Thaliak, patron deity of scholars, academics hoard all manner of knowledge and secrets. Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands. How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Ala Megan soil. So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
I thought they'd never let us off the ship. What's next then? Entry applications?
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
Hasn't Sharlayan all but severed relations with foreign powers? Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused outright.
'Tis true that, as a nation, Sharlayan only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries. But from a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders. Especially not at that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge. If one submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry.
May.
Quite. So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed. The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlayan's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions. Kral has laid the groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldesion, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration. Grahatir, it might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
Of course. The immigration officers were this way, as I recall. Shall we?
Bum. Beautiful.
Greetings. We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city. Would you be so kind as to process our entry applications?
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
I am. Grahatir of the Students of Baldesion at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
Very good. I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today. And it seems some few of your companions are also Archons. If you'll step forward, we can process those applications first.
Ishtola rule.
See how it glows? That list is etherically linked with the citizen registry kept in the main repository.
I've confirmed your status as Archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home. Now, who do we have here?
Alphino Leveilleur.
Alice
And Alice Leveilleur.
Your applications have also been approved. Having said that, the streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny. And while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
We shall keep that in mind.
These last two are not Sharlayan natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
Name and occupation?
Vesper Valentina, champion of Eorzea, adventurer by trade.
An adventurer? Well, I suppose that is considered a valid calling in your native Eorzea, and it does indeed match the profile provided. You may enter.
And Estinian?
And you, sir?
Estinian Valino, formerly of the Order of the Knights Dragoon in Ishgard.
Formally, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession now?
He doesn't have one.
If you'll allow me...
Cryo.
My associate is a mercenary, hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Mistress Baldesion, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it. But while I appreciate that desperate times call for desperate measures, I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are. But I thank you for your concern.
Croyle, it is good to see you.
Likewise. Long voyage notwithstanding, you all seem none the worse for wear. There is much to discuss, but this is hardly the place. Let's be on our way, shall we? Oh! Welcome, friends, to Sharlayan.
As your mercenary, I should hope my welcome includes a generous salary.
Well, I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
I love them. Alright, Cryo. I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. Is this better than... Oh, Lunar Compass. Where now did it go? Right here. Wait, stop. 5:15? Yeah, it is better than what we have. Oh, it looks cool. That looks sick. But I chose the other one for our glam. Where is it? Right here. Alright, Cryo. I had thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Vesper and Estinian's first time in Sharlayan, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you all may have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Once you've settled in, we can reconvene at the Baldesion Annex. How does that sound? It's a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome at the Levelure estate as such, but I should like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I'm equally untethered, as it were. There's no particular place that my kin call home. Still, I would not pass up the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of our old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The annex was west of the Aetheryte Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. I too have places I would be remiss for not visiting forthwith. By thy leave. What of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are yours for the asking. That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. But I could... Oh. Well, Raha? Would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this would be the perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Oh, of course, if you'll have me. Come, Vesper, Sharlayan awaits. After you, my friend, I am more than content to follow your lead. Raha Tia is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. If you use an Aethernet, Grahatia will catch up to you so long as you remain in the same area. Behind, blah, blah, blah. All set? Then let us be on our way. Our first stop, amusingly enough, will be the last stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbor. Kryle's now accompanying you. Lead your two companions to the last stand and speak with Kryle in a designated location. You may encounter these circles. Alright, let's go to this circle then. What do you got to say? With all the unusual wares coming and going at all hours, I expect the assistance of an intrepid adventurer would be highly appreciated. I see no reason why you couldn't undertake any task which pique your interest. You have been cleared by the immigration officials, after all. I look forward to the day your name is celebrated in Sharlayan the same way it is in Eorzea. Trial? This place is called the Peristyle, and it is the first stop for cargo unloaded at the docks. You'll find the usual necessities for daily living and other imports vital to running an island nation, but also supplies that further Sharlayan's pursuit of knowledge, namely large quantities of books, specimens, and samples. Sorting these stacks certainly seems to keep the attendants busy. Okay. Go into this. Go to this circle. Now that is a sight one could hardly forget, the great statue of Thaliak. As a student of Baldesion, I was usually quartered on the Isle of Val, but I would gaze upon the scholar's wise features every time I returned by ship to the city. The path leading out towards the sea is known as the Thaliak Stoa, so named for the statue of the scholar which stands at its end. As you know, the Sharlayan people prize the accumulation of wisdom above all else. Thus, when Thaliak was chosen as our patron deity, it was more a matter of pragmatism than belief, an alignment of principles, as it were. We may have honored him with a rather impressive sculpture, yes, but our faith is not so restricted as that to say of the Ishgardians. Individual Sharlayans can, and do, worship the divinities of their choosing. Rest. Trial. Ah, here we are, the last stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Sharlayan tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. How can I put this? The food is, it's bland. And encapsulated by our infamous Archon loaf, the prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first and taste a distant second. There was one pupil of the studium, however, who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer, so he quit his lessons and poured all his savings into building a proper eatery. And so the last stand came to be. It is, as the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Sharlayan, the one and only bastion of the culinary arts in an isle of otherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall their burger being hailed as one of the most impressive items on the menu, not that I have ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Because you were a typical Sharlayan when it came to cheap and convenient, Raha, but surely Tataru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We should all stop in when time permits and sample the cafe's delights. Shall we press on? The stairs to the side of the cafe there will take us up to the Aetherite Plaza. Okay. Boom, boom. Grab this. An unusual shape, isn't it? I assure you, however, that it's perfectly functioning aetheryte. Remember to attune yourself before we move on. Now, being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Sharlayan stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of Alagon aetherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what was essentially a lost art. And off we go to our next destination. Our path leads northeast to the Agora, Sharlayan's largest marketplace. I'm not gonna stop at every little circle on the way. Welcome to the Agora, where you can find wares made in Sharlayan as well as a wide selection of imported goods. They also used to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think the practice has thankfully died out, for the most part. Otherwise, I can think of no better place to stock up on your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? On a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one which has particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. Let's head back to the Aetherite Plaza, follow the path north, then climb the stairs to that imposing building at the very top. Up here? Bum 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 bum. That. Right here. Let me go get this Aether Net shard first. The sun is rising. Look at that. Beautiful sunrise. The grand structure before you is the Rostra. Name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which a forum of elected representatives would deliver orations and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remain largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raha? You seem awfully distracted. My apologies. From here, one can see the entire city spread out below. The vista put me in mind of my arrival in the first. Those who had gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I could think of, the great city of Sharlayan. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community, the Crystarium. I can almost see its echo. I see. Feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the counselors would object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. So he based the Crystarium off of this, huh? Down the stairs to the east. Bum, 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 bum. We've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us that this was where those who put ashore the Archon Nyankrep built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as a residential district and the most important officials and the oldest Sharlayan families. You'll see that one mansion is clearly larger than the neighbors. That estate belongs to our friends from House Levelure. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. With that, we bring our little Sharlayan tour to a close. I hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. Now, shall we head directly to the Baldesion Annex? You remember the way, don't you, Raha? Let me think. We head down towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right, then follow the path below the Aetheryte Plaza. Correct. After you, Vesper. Okay, but first I want to grab this. Then we should probably grab the one down here. Bum, bum, bum. And I'll probably go grab this one. Then it will just be this and this that we have. Okay, let's go grab this one down here. Or is this the one we got already? I think we got this one already. I need the Studium, Baldesion Annex. That's it. Okay. So I need this one and this one. As the joyous look on Raha's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Baldesion Annex. If you continue up the hill, you will arrive on the doorstep of the phenomenon, but I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you then. I'm back, and I've brought Vesper and Raha with me. Ah, you were right about the ship then. Hello, Graha. It's nice to see you again. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Vesper. I've heard many a tale of your exploits. Ojika? Ojika Sunjika? It's been an age. Allow me to introduce Ojika Sunjika, Administration Officer for the students of Baldesion. He oversees the day-to-day business of the Annex. You may recall meeting his cousin, Ejika. Oh yes, Eureka. I've read the initial reports. Quite a shock to hear what's become of the Isle. Do take care if you have the opportunity to rejoin the expedition. This place is like a second home for the students. The Isle of Val served as our main headquarters, of course, but we often had occasion to visit Sharlayan. Whether to make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. The Annex here was built to provide lodgings for our members while we engaged in such activities. Ever since our former headquarters, along with the Isle of itself, vanished, the Annex has served as our base of operations. And yet it feels so empty. With so many lost to us, our organization is a shell of its former self. The day will come when we will see the students rise again. But first, we must ensure that the Telophori fall. Through that door on the left is where the main hall, where we can discuss our options moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is, you probably have time to rest before our discussion begins in earnest. I've had private quarters prepared for you in the Andron, so please feel free to make yourself at home. Ah, the nap rooms. Perfect for an afternoon doze. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed. Far more so than the cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. It was simply that we were often so busy with research or exhausted from journeys abroad that we would slip into the Andron just to steal a few winks. And thus they became known amongst the students as nap rooms, even if many such naps might last well into the following morning. Say the word and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. Ooh, ooh. Alright. I think what we'll do... Go out here. Let's go get this one at the Studium. It's snowing. And then we'll wrap up after that. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. There we go. Now we can make our way all around Sharlayan. Okay. Alright, with that I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here. So guys, I want to thank you so much for all of your support on this series. If you do want to see more of the Final Fantasy XIV online Let's Play, make sure to leave a like or subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Alright, bye-bye everyone.